sandbox simulation game Wobbledogs has arrived on consoles, bringing with it unique dog breeding mechanics and fun automations. Closer to sport than Nintendogs, this canine-centric title will let players experiment with genetics and watch their creations live their lives, though that might be too tedious for some gamers. Wobbledogs comes from developer Animal Uprising and publisher Secret Mode, who have published games like A Little to the Left and Pinko Park in the past. Much like Spore can be used to evolve terrifying creations, Wobbledogs can put players in the shoes of a god with a penchant for breeding dogs. The central gameplay loop of the title involves combining the genetics of two dogs in a simulation chamber, choosing a final dog to put into a fertilized dog egg, and hatching it to add to a growing collection of dogs. These dogs are simplistic yet distinctive in their design, with diverse gut flora, which is changed by what the dogs eat, which contributes to traits such as longer bodies, facial color and shape. As players continue to breed, they get weirder results, from mismatched legs to wings. The crafting mechanics referred to as sandbox titles in many games are largely absent from Wobbledogs. Players do not need to collect materials to craft machines such as egg incubator and various feeding machines, nor do they need anything to fill their dog boxes with furniture that is unlocked throughout the game. This means overall that there's actually very little for players to do consistently, with tasks mostly consisting of watching dogs activate their pupal state, a cocoon that dogs enter and emerge into as they age, when it becomes available, and make sure you don't starve, even if the puppies eat mostly automatically. That being said, it's quite entertaining to watch the weird canine creations go about their day, interacting and causing trouble. They might not be the cutest video game animals, but they're not meant to be. Wobbledogs is all about creating the weirdest creatures players can imagine. Watching dogs that are the result of incredibly unfortunate genetic combinations is absurdly fun, though that in and of itself doesn't mean Wobbledogs is a game players will be glued to. It's a game best enjoyed while doing other things, stopping occasionally to see how the dogs have changed since they were last hatched. There are a few goals for players to complete in Wobbledogs that also help keep things a bit engaging, with each unlocking things like new wallpapers, furniture, and food machines. The objectives are reminiscent of Animal Crossing's Nook Miles tasks, like digging a certain number of holes and raising a certain number of dogs. While this gives some direction to the very open game, the majority of the rewards aren't particularly exciting. Some of the fun of Wobbledogs is thwarted by technical issues on the Nintendo Switch. While the dog animations start out soft, as additional pins and tunnels are added to the layout, they become more sparkly and sometimes freeze completely, greatly detracting from their charming absurdity. The controls are also not optimal, and it can sometimes be difficult to select the target dogs when they move due to this clumsiness. Wobbledogs isn't perfect, and players looking for an incredibly engaging pet simulator or sandbox game with satisfying crafting loops will likely be disappointed. However, for those who don't shy away from a more idle style of play, Wobbledogs offers an odd and charming experience, albeit quite basic, both in terms of graphics and gameplay. Experimenting with the game's gut flora and reproductive mechanisms is fun, whether players just want to raise the cutest pup or test the game's laws of nature. Although the game won't scratch the itch from player to looking for an involved pet simulator, Wobbledogs is a great source of endless goofy fun in the sandbox. Wobbledogs Console Edition is now available on Nintendo Switch. A Nintendo Switch code was provided to Screen Rant for this review. Our rating, 3 out of 5. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.